$2.2 trillion in trade with the countries targeted: Mexico, Canada, and China. You see the dollar amounts there. President Trump insists U.S. manufacturers will be protected because tariffs will be paid by these countries. But it's not quite that simple. The so-called importer of record, the companies responsible for importing a product, are the ones that physically pay tariffs to the federal government. They are usually U.S. companies. Here, the tariffs are collected by Customs and Border Protection at 328 ports of entry across the country. That money goes to the general fund of the U.S. government, managed by the Treasury Department. Now, what happens is when someone ships something into the U.S., say they use FedEx, for example, the shipper fills out a declaration of what it is, how much it costs, and if that product is on the list for a tariff, FedEx would collect the fee where it came in and then transfer that to the U.S. Customs.
Comment below and let us know where you're watching from. And if you enjoy honest political analysis that cuts through the headlines, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Now, today's story takes a surprising turn. We're shifting gears to look at a moment that caught a lot of people completely off guard. In this clip, Fox News anchor Bret Baier does something many viewers didn't expect. He directly challenges Donald Trump and pushes back on several of the claims being made. Instead of letting the conversation move on unchecked, he steps in with fact-based questions that change the tone of the interview. It's a rare exchange that sparked plenty of discussion, so let's get right into it and see exactly what happened.
$2.2 trillion. Laredo, for example, in Texas, is the #1 port in the nation, with $339 billion in total trade passing through just last year. Now, much of that is with Mexico, because cars and trucks are the top U.S. import from Mexico. Let's look at an example in the automotive industry. Now, 62% of Chevrolet's Silverado parts, the parts, are made in the U.S. and Canada. General Motors, for example, has assembly plants for the Silverado in Oshawa, Canada, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Flint, Michigan, Springfield, Ohio, and in Mexico. Each time something crosses the border, including thousands of individual parts and the final vehicle, a tariff is assessed and paid by the company. Now, companies obviously can choose to absorb these tariff costs. That would lead to eating into their profits, obviously. Bigger companies can try to force suppliers to lower their prices, something smaller companies really probably can't do, or they all pass the cost on to consumers in the form of higher prices. On the international front, President Trump's tariffs quickly set off a chain reaction today. Mexico's president says she will announce retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods Sunday. Canada responded right away with plans to impose 25% tariffs on nearly $100 billion of U.S. imports. And China says it will impose additional tariffs of up to 15% on U.S. farm products on March 10th, as countries vent their frustrations over what they see as an expanding trade war.
And that was definitely not something many people expected to see. Watching Fox News push back with fact-checking instead of simply echoing the talking points made this exchange stand out, with reports that some of the proposed auto tariffs have already been softened after discussions with industry leaders. It's clear this debate is far from over, whether you support or oppose these policies. The real question is how they'll affect everyday Americans, businesses, and prices in the months ahead. Now, I'd love to hear your perspective. Do you think Fox News handled this fairly? And what do you think the long-term impact of these tariffs will be? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.